Welcome to Leadership Dialogue. I am your host, John Nkamiang. Nigeria's main opposition, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has been engulfed in a prolonged and increasingly dramatic crisis. Now, this week, we saw police action at the party secretariat, a fractional takeover, and now the new party chairman faces an accusation of high treason. Now, this is no longer an internal dispute. It is a national spectacle. To help us dissect this crisis, we have with us a chieftain of the PDP in the person of Comrade Dakiagbo, Warmart. Comrade, thank you for making our time to be with us on short notice, and I can see you haven't recovered from yesterday's drama. How did you manage with the tear gas, the bullets, and all?
Thank you once again for having me. Well, it's unfortunate. We just thank God for life, and that is why it's intentional. My black face cap and black dress is that it's a message I'm sending across that democracy there's an attempt to assassinate democracy in this country, and we will not accept that. We will not accept that in any guise. We will not accept that. That's why we were at the PDP Secretariat yesterday to correct the wrong impression being created. Some persons going to occupy, the office or the secretariat, claiming to be national officers of the party who have been expelled from the party by all constitutional standards. So that is the situation. Is quite unfortunate that our security personnel yesterday displayed partiality, just like the national chairman said. Great one at that. In such a situation, when you take sides, what the consequences of that is escalating the situation when you take side. And the police yesterday did that. And today we saw that they sealed the place up. It's unfortunate.
Well, let's begin with the chaos that erupted at the Wadata Plaza, National Secretariat this week. Now, eyewitness account reported heavy tension, policing, firing shots, like I said earlier, and the staff being ordered to vacate the premises. Now, what exactly was the reason for this aggression? Because the convention took place over the weekend. The fallouts were clear. And one would have expected that the recognized leadership of the party would naturally take charge of the secretariat and then begin to drive the functions of the party. But what we saw yesterday was a total contrast.
Yes, let me start by saying that I want to commend Ambassador Umar Ilia Damago, the outgoing national chairman, who conducted a very peaceful convention that led to the transition of a new NWC member emerging in the convention in Ibadan. And as a tradition, the new ESCOs are supposed to familiarize themselves with the secretariat, the workings of the secretariat. Before that, they got to know that there is a notice on social media that some other interest group in the party wants to hold NEC meeting, purportedly an NWC meeting. And we only have one NWC, we only have one NEC, we only have one BOT. And the BOT is headed by Senator Wabara, the NEC is headed by the chairman, which is Ambassador Damagu, and that is the outgoing chairman, and the NWC also headed by Ambassador Damago, the outgoing chairman. So the incoming chairman and the NWC were wondering. That led to them fixing a meeting for Tuesday, that same day. And before we got there, that Tuesday, we noticed that the other interest group have already occupied
the building
and wanted to hold their NEC meeting in the NEC hall. So getting there, they had to ask them, sorry, some of you here have been expelled. And also, some of you all have no business
Being here?
being here. So that was how they were asked to leave. But there was serious issue trying to assess the place. When we got there, they refused
Entry.
Yes, persuasion. In fact, it led to security officers, confronting themselves. We were able to manage ourselves through into the secretariat, and were able to assess the NEC hall and ask those that were illegally occupying the NEC hall to exit the NEC hall. And that was what happened yesterday. You see, it is an unfortunate thing for a president who is seen by his supporters as a Democrat to condone and promote such draconian approach to leadership, such political demonism, that you allow the opposition to die. If they kill opposition in Nigeria, he wouldn't have even been able to be a governor.
These are strong allegations against Mr. President.
He wouldn't have been able to be. Yes, why are they strong allegations? When you are incentivizing someone under your watch to destroy the opposition in this country, what are you saying? You see, there is something Mr. President seems to have forgotten, and that is what is happening under his watch has the same trappings of all that happened that led to the collapse of the First and Second Republic. And that's why I'm calling on the president to nip every situation
In the bud.
Because shutting down or sealing PDP secretariat is not the solution. It's not the solution. And that's why a lot of people are worried. And that's why the incoming chairman of our party had to call for the international community. He had to cry out for the international community to come to the rescue of Nigerians.
The APC has reacted to that.
Yes, definitely. What you expect, they will react. But the shameful thing is that it is this same APC that demonized this nation under PDP, went outside this country to claim that nothing is working, the government is sleeping. But today, it is their report of 2014 that is manifesting, is being acted upon by the international community today. So we expect such response from the the APC government. Now let me give you an example. They are saying that it's treason. They are committing treason, the APC government themselves. How? Because this action of the chairman calling for the international community to save democracy is not treason, it's crying out. If they call it treason, the APC government is committing treason against Nigeria, because when PDP wanted to remove subsidy, they say it's a fraud. That if you remove subsidy, there will be no need to borrow. They remove subsidy, and since then, the level of borrowing in this country has, gone astronomical. That is crazy. Where are they borrowing the money? Most of the money from abroad. Why they cry out? They are crying out to the international community to loan them money to take care of their own people. Is that not treason if they claim that the call for the international community to save our democracy is treason? Then they are called for the international community to save Nigeria in the area of finance by borrowing from the international community. It's also treason. Then they should first send themselves to jail. They should first try themselves, from the president to every APC member that is supporting their borrowing. They are committing treason against the Nigerian state. So they cannot claim that a cry for help to save our democracy is treason.
Let's look at the critical issue of legitimacy. The crisis escalated following a convention that produced a new NWC led by Kabiru Turaki. How does your faction, which is the recognized factor, because before coming into the studio, INEC recognized the Turaki faction as the authentic faction of the PDP. How do you respond to the claims by the Wike loyalists in the, will I call him former National Secretary now, Sam Dadi, in the person of Samuel Anyao and Mohammed Abdulrahman, that they are authentic leaders of the party?
You see, let me start by correcting an impression that a faction, there is no faction. We have only one PDP, and that PDP is presently led by Honorable Kabiru Turaki, SAN.
No, but how would you have expected the press to represent the fact that there was a divided house? You have two voices.
There's interest. We should have that. Even though it's a divided house, it's interest. But we should always, and I appeal to the media to save this democracy by always saying the truth.
So the PDP was not, is not, and will not be factionalized.
As we speak today, we are not factionalized. There is interest group fighting the party, within the party.
Interest groups.
Yes. Interest group fighting the party within the party. You've just said it, that INEC said His Excellency Kabiru Turaki's led PDP that they recognize and has given go ahead for the primaries in Ekiti State and so on. And they cited its electoral section 82 upward. So there is no faction. We should help this democracy. The media should contribute.
No, that's why you're here.
Yes,
you're here to clear the air.
It's interest. It's interest group trying to push their interest forward in the wrong way.
All right. Now, INEC went further by rejecting a letter from the duo of Anyanwu and Abdulrahman, which sought to postpone the convention that happened in Ibadan. And right now, we understand that it has a strategic implication. Now, I'm a bit surprised because I know that what happened yesterday was not the first time. We've seen a situation where a similar action took place barely a few months ago. Are you anticipating any drama ahead of the activities in Ekiti?
No, definitely there is no drama. INEC has spoken. INEC has spoken. So there is no drama that the Kabiru Turaki led, what is it called? NWC is the recognized one. And they are the one they are going to deal with. So there is no drama, definitely. As regards that, there is no drama in Ekiti. They are going to conduct the primaries, and those that emerge will go ahead to contest the general election. It's as simple as that, the INEC election. It's as simple as that. So no drama. Because if INEC has not spoken, you would have said we are expecting drama. But INEC has spoken, so we don't expect any drama. Because whoever they emerge under the primaries conducted by the Kabiru Turaki stroke Ambassador led NWC is what INEC will recognize. Yes, because why I use the two of them is because by by December is when the 10 of the what is it called? The present NWC will elapse, and Kabiru is trying to familiarize himself with the runnings of the party. So that's why I'm mentioning them for the records, that by December 9th is when Ambassador Damagu tenure will officially end.
But that's why your former National Secretary, Samuel Anyao, continued to insist that his tenure doesn't end until that December 9th or 8th, thereabout.
No, if he has not been suspended and expelled by the party, yes, all the present NWC tenure will elapse by December 9th. But as we speak, they have been expelled from the party by the convention, no less an organ of the party than like the convention. So there's no two ways about it. I have stood to defend him at all times when I noticed that through the back door they want to remove him and it's unconstitutional. I stood with him through and defended him to the last. But in this case, the party has said the following persons have been expelled in our convention, which is the highest decision-making body of our party in line with our constitution. So there is no two ways about it. If it's not, he has not been expelled, and he's saying yes, he's right. But right now that he's expelled, no, it's not right, because he's no longer the secretary of the party. That is what it means.
Will this expulsion calm the nerves of PDP Southeast that have been highly critical of the fact that after he returned prior to running for the gubernatorial race in Imo State, that he should have left? Will what has happened now quell the minds of the PDP faithfuls in the Southeast?
You see, I don't know. Why I said I don't know? I stood by the Constitution. And because the constitutional provision and the party Congress guideline does not insist or stipulate or make it compulsory for someone that have the intention to contest, an NWC member that have the intention to contest as a governor or any office, to resign. And that was on that grounds I stood with him. And I cited the sections of the Constitution and said, whoever stakeholder in the Southeast that wants to remove him at that point, they pass it through the back door. And I referenced the sections that, gave him that support. So, but today as we speak, it's not same.
He has crossed the line.
He has crossed the line. The Constitution, the party has expelled you, and there is no way you can remain there, whether you force yourself into the secretariat or not. The record is that you have been asked to leave the party for whatever reason. You can appeal to the disciplinary committee. There are rooms for that. But the thing is, the highest decision-making body of the party has taken a decision. There is no way the decision of 3 or 4 members will be carried as against the decision of 13 members.
Okay, let's discuss the path of reconciliation. I mean, with you say not faction but interest group now expelled, another in control, and now the possibility of a legal crisis. How can the PDP unify and fulfill its role as the nation's main opposition party, especially with the 2027 elections approaching?
You see, the party even made an attempt to reconcile members, and it was at that point I felt very disappointed and saddened, and wonder why, well, the FCT minister, based on what we read, it was alleged that the condition he gave to the party reconciliation committee is that the party should not produce a presidential candidate. I don't want to believe that. Let me assume, but not conceding that he said that. I want to ask him, if when I mentioned the camp to APC, such a condition was given to PDP by people that don't want him to emerge, that PDP should not produce a gubernatorial candidate, today would they have boasted as being a former governor of Rivers State? No matter what the offense PDP has committed, I sacrificed my life to defend him. Because at that point I knew he was right. Because at that point I know he was not treated fairly. But not at the expense
of the party.
Of the party, that we should not produce presidential candidates because you want to please the president, for crying out loud. That's satanic. That is demonic. That is barbaric. So state PDP should not produce a presidential candidate, that is one party state. Tomorrow, what you are celebrating, who knows? Are you God? If tomorrow God changed the mind of Tinubu to hate you, and we are running one party state.
The APC has denied driving Nigeria's politics towards a one-party state.
The APC is a born, known lying party. From the day the APC was bettered, they started lying to Nigeria. They lied Nigeria into this crisis. They lied Nigeria into this security. They lied Nigeria into the economic crisis. Everything they lied about this thing. Some of them confessed. But they repented and confessed. So the APC is not party to be relied on in any way. From the beginning, somebody that lying is in their DNA as a party. Lying is in their DNA.
Will you call it lying or propaganda?
Not beyond propaganda. It's beyond propaganda. A lot of things they came up to tell Nigerians were lie. They came and admitted, even the former governor of Ekiti State admitted to that fact. It's in public domain. So it's the party that you want to rely on. That's why we are facing the crisis we are facing today. Today's security is as a result of the lies and propaganda of APC. They thought they wouldn't come to power. They blackmailed Jonathan out of power. They lied Jonathan out of power. They used propaganda to push him out of power. Today, it's those lies, those propagandas, those blackmail that is working against them. And today, who are the victims? Nigerians.
What is the immediate goal of the Turaki-led NWC as we speak? Because I don't envy His Excellency Turaki, because he's taking over the party in troubled waters.
No, you see, the Turaki-led NWC is looking at make sure that opposition party does not
institute the recognized PDP as it stands will not also walk the path of those who've been expelled from the party.
You see, if they walk that path, they will also be expelled. And one thing I want us to know is
does the PDP have what it takes to survive another hit?
No, we have always survived hit. That is what we are meant for. We have always survived hit. This is not the first hit. This is not the first time our secretary has been seen. This is not the first time, an interest group is claiming that they are the chairman and whatever, and even have the backing of the presidency. This is not the first time. But the truth remains that crisis is inherent in political struggle and in political parties. So there is no way you can come up today and say there will be no crisis at all. It will raise ugly head time to time. But the thing is that PDP has internal mechanism to address those crises. And I can tell you that whatever thing that comes our way, we will always overcome it. Just the same way we are overcoming what we are facing today, and the same way we overcame what we faced, in the years past.
In the build-up to 2027, some political parties, new political parties, have been cleared by the Independent National Electoral Commission. The subject of coalition has always been in the air. Will the PDP consider, or will it be considering the possibility of coalition in the build-up to 2027?
You see, when you say coalition, I do tell people PDP will go into collaboration, not coalition. Definitely will go into collaboration with every party that is willing to do that. And with that, we'll be able to make headway better. But that does not mean that we cannot do headway, or we cannot have a headway without that. Because we have the infrastructure, we have the structure.
But are you not worried?
That is the only party we have in Nigeria.
Are you not worried that Nigerians, and particularly the younger generation, may have lost trust, credibility in the ability of the PDP to turn things around? Because those who have today defected to the APC, virtually all of them were once PDP.
And that's
the
why
APC now.
They've not lost confidence in the PDP. And if they, assuming they have, then they also lose confidence in APC, because just like you said, most of the people were in PDP before they moved to APC. And I've said it on this platform and other platforms, several platforms, that PDP is an institution. It graduates its students. And that's why
So it has graduated these ones now.
A lot of people, no. You know, when you go to school, some graduate. So that is the situation. So you don't judge us by that. You understand?
So what's the yardstick now?
The thing is that PDP is the only party that has Nigeria at heart, that thinks of our image first, that thinks of our security, that thinks of our economy before thinking of the political party itself. That let there be a nation before a political party. And that is why Nigerians today believes in PDP. Even the young people believes in PDP more than any party. If you go, you are talking to. That's why Nigerians.
Is that the ideology of the PDP?
That is why Nigerians are angry with some of the greedy leaders in the party. That why do you want to destroy this beautiful party that we all are looking up to deliver us from the mistake we made in 2015? It's the ideology of the party.
The ideology.
Yes, to keep Nigeria one.
Some
to make sure
Nigerians.
that there is egalitarianism at every point. Nobody is sidelined. And that's why you see, during our 16 years, you see Nigerians are the happiest, Nigerians are the this,
but some Nigerians and some political interest holders are saying that the PDP is also how do you say it, is having a taste of its own medicine, that they had the opportunity to have changed the trajectory of Nigeria in 16 years, but they were full of themselves. They boasted. They felt they were also in control of government, the systems of government, the military, the police, and all of that, and that it is their ill doings that has come back to haunt them. How do you respond to that?
No, I will not totally agree with that. I will not.
But you agree to a certain extent.
No, I will not totally agree with that. Yes, one or two leaders during when they were in power misbehaved, misused power, abused power, no doubt. But the truth remains that if you are talking as PDP,
as a party,
we did well for this country in our 16 years, and we improved every sector of the economy, every sector of the society of Nigeria, even to our the cultural aspect of our society. So you must give it to PDP. You don't have option if you are very objective. Looking at even to the extent, now look at the life expectancy under APC government. Look at, we are among the worst nation almost in everything. So that is the issue. And that's why Nigerians are yearning, so now the cry of Nigeria for PDP to come back to power